Good evening. Britain's next Prime Minister will be chosen from a shortlist of 2 women, following the latest round of voting among MPs in the Conservative leadership contest. Theresa May, the Home Secretary, received 199 votes. The Energy Minister, Andrea Leadsom, got 84. The Justice Secretary, Michael Gove, won 46 votes and was eliminated from the race. So, Mrs May and Mrs Leadsom will now spend the next few weeks canvassing support among Conservative Party members, around 150,000 of them across the UK. They will be making the final choice, not the party's MPs. This report from our political editor, Laura Koonsberg, does contain some flash photography.
The march of Theresa May, striding easily onto the ticket, miles ahead of both her rivals today. Her supporters already crying, Prime Minister. She very well might be soon.
This vote shows that the Conservative Party can come together and that under my leadership it will. We need proven leadership to negotiate the best deal for leaving the European Union, to unite our party and our country, and to make Britain a country that works not for the privileged few, but for everyone.
In the grand rooms of Westminster, the vote was clear.
Andrea Leadsom, 84 votes. Theresa May, 199 votes.
With Michael Gove out and the Energy Minister, Andrea Leadsom, trailing, Mrs May's supporters were delighted.
Not quite waving on the steps of number 10 yet, but she has just won the very clear endorsement of the majority of Tory MPs. Her backers hope her experience makes her the clear favourite.
She can truly say, as we go into the country, that she is the unity candidate.
Are you surprised by how strong the result was?
Well, we thought she got 165 earlier in the year. That was a fantastic, overwhelming result in itself. To go forward even further and get to touching the 200, I think is a clear indication of what parliamentarians think we need in our next Prime Minister.
I can't hear you. Are you ready?
Traditional Tories, though, are excited by Andrea Leadsom, her rival. The Eurosceptic Energy Minister is far less experienced. Her colleagues need reassurance about her record. But one wing of the party is enthusiastic enough to march along the river in an unusual show of Conservative support.
What do we want?
Leadsom for leader!
When do we want it?
Now!
She was hardly known before the referendum, now the potential PM.
The great news is we have an all-female shortlist with no positive discrimination or anything.
With far less experience than her rival. Why should it be her?
How difficult was it to decide to run? I feel, having played a part in showing this country the prospects for us outside of the EU, I just felt I needed to put myself forward to offer to lead the way through it, because I really believe in it.
But just a couple of days into the race, she's already been accused of changing her CV.
I've not changed my CV. I have had 25 years in finance. I spent the best part of 10 years in BZW in Barclays and the best part of 10 years in Invesco Perpetual. I've also had a part-time job in Sainsbury's. I started life as a 14-year-old silver service waitress. You know, my CV is incredibly varied and it's all absolutely true. And, you know, I think this is, you know, ridiculous.
You see, some of the people supporting you in this campaign have gone on the record and said one of your great strengths is that you do have experience managing billions of pounds.
No, but that's correct. None of my colleagues have misrepresented that I was managing investments on behalf of pensioners and savers. I was not a fund manager. I've been very clear. I've worked in the markets. I have worked in banking. I have worked in funds management as Senior Investment Officer and Head of Corporate Governance.
So you don't regret at all how your previous experience has been presented?
There's nothing to regret.
And look who she has on her side.
Stunning achievement by Andrea Leadsom. I think she's going to provide exactly the right kind of positive and optimistic and confident leadership that this country needs.
Mr Johnson was, of course, the one-time favourite. His hopes were sunk by Mr Gove, who crashed out today. Did he think it was worth it?
I'm naturally disappointed that I haven't been able to make it through to the final round of this leadership contest.
Do you regret what you did, Mr Gove?
This is a moment Theresa May's team will treasure. A more successful start to the race than they could have hoped. But now MPs lose control, the contest goes to the country. It's the Conservative Party, not Parliament, who makes the call. Laura Koonsberg, BBC News, Westminster.
So Theresa May and Andrea Leadsom will spend the next few weeks, as we said, building support among party members whose final choice will be announced on September the 9th. Mrs May is one of the longest-serving Home Secretaries in history. Mrs Leadsom, as we've heard there, spent many years working in financial services. The two women do have some key policy differences, as our Deputy Political Editor John Pienaar reports.
Which one could be Britain's next Margaret Thatcher? They both fancy the idea, goes down well with the Tory members, who are choosing the next Prime Minister. Theresa May's the favourite, bookies' favourite that is. She's been called difficult but good. Too difficult? A former coalition partner thought she was effective.
She was very competent and single-minded, but quite rigid. And we saw, for example, on immigration policy that, it wasn't just me who was dealing with the universities and so on, but even George Osborne and David Cameron, and she ran rings around them, frequently wouldn't compromise at all.
Middle-class upbringing, Dad was a vicar, and she learned to stand on her own feet. As a worker in the city, she rose, worked at the Bank of England before politics, but was never one of the boys or tried to be, and never saw her gender as an obstacle.
I've never experienced any barriers within the Conservative Party. I must say, I've never felt that I've had any problems as a woman.
Is she a feminist? Yes, if that means a woman who demands a fair deal.
And that should be a wake-up call.
Now, there's much more to Theresa May than the shoes, the kitten heels she's famously worn on the climb through the cabinet. She's stubborn, Jeff Boycott's her favourite cricketer, and tough enough to face down a hostile audience of police officers.
It's my job to tell it like it is, not how we'd like it to be.
Allies say she's not just a tough operator. So what does Theresa May stand for? She campaigned to remain in the EU and now says she'd negotiate on whether EU migrants can stay in the UK. Her supporters see her as the more compassionate Conservative. She supports the minimum wage and maternity pay for all, and she voted for same-sex marriage. Andrea Leadsom lacks experience at the top of politics. Seen here on her first day as an MP only 6 years ago, she sounded appealingly innocent about hiring staff, for example.
As a new MP, I'm really looking for somebody with experience so they can show me the ropes.
Her years in the city, where she denies hyping her role, must have helped handling her living expenses.
We took the view we were going to buy our own place and fund it ourselves, so there won't be any cost to the taxpayer.
She started her political climb as a protégé of the Chancellor, George Osborne, before finally siding with his opponents on the EU Leave side.
Andrea's message is all about positivity. It's about restoring certainty and stability to our economy and really capitalising on all those opportunities that have come with leaving the EU.
Where does Andrea Leadsom stand? She campaigned to leave the European Union, but says EU migrants already in the UK should stay. For small, new businesses with 3 or fewer staff, she does not support the minimum wage or maternity rights, and she abstained on same-sex marriage. So 2 women left standing and a genuine choice for the Conservative faithful who'll pick a Prime Minister in September. John Pienaar, BBC News.
So the contest to elect the new Conservative leader and Britain's next Prime Minister is finally underway, with ballot papers being sent out very soon to Conservative Party members. Our special correspondent Ed Thomas has been to the town of Nantwich in Cheshire, part of a constituency held by the Conservatives, and he's been sampling opinion among activists there.
Nantwich, a Cheshire town with a Conservative instinct. And this morning, the Tory faithful were waiting to hear the names, to consider who best to lead a nation.
This is a new opportunity.
People like Carol and Janet, just 2 Conservative members who helped choose the next Prime Minister.
One of the candidates in particular I would really like to know more about.
Who's that?
Ms Leadsom. So I will be doing some homework before I make my decision.
I'm for Mrs May. I love what she's done over the last few years. I love her tenacity.
I want some unity. This is not just about the Conservative Party. This is about a Prime Minister that will actually bring the country together.
This time I feel that the roles have reversed. It's now up to me. I can make a difference.
So who are the 150,000?
I would put a lady in charge.
Experts say Tory membership is mostly male, middle class and over 50. But other voices want to be heard.
Someone who can lead and unite, the party.
Supporters like Jonathan, a student and Tory member since he was 14.
There's a lot of division, old people, young people, rich and poor, and even within the party, MPs, members, everyone's slightly divided. I want to be wowed by someone.
And who wows you at the moment?
Nobody.
There is a power in towns like Nantwich like never before. The voice of Conservative members here and elsewhere will be heard, because they alone will choose the next British Prime Minister.
A pretty resounding result.
And by the afternoon, a clear choice.
Two women. Two women.
Theresa May and Andrea Leadsom, the final two in the race to lead.
I'm pleased. History's been made. We're going to have another female Prime Minister, and it's remarkable, isn't it?
We've got a chance to choose someone who's going to really pull all the members of the UK together.
It's an honour and also great responsibility, and I'm very excited about it.
You want the best ability.
Soon their votes will be cast for new leadership.
Let's have a woman running the country.
And a voice for post-Brexit Britain. Ed Thomas, BBC News, Nantwich.